What up, Depth Chart? It's your boy, young broadcaster Jared Young, here on the set of the 2 Point Perspective with my co-host, Miles on the mic, Miles Sweeney, for episode 22. 22 episodes, Miles.
We've come a long way.
We have come a long way.
We talked about it yesterday. We're growing up.
Yeah, I think we've grown a lot in the pod. I think we've grown a lot in just the way that we're speaking, and there are still some awkward pauses. We're working through some of those. You know, it's gonna take some time, but yeah, man, quite a few months in here now.
I know, and it flew by.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. We're not even 6 months in though. We got 4 more episodes, and we'll be at the 6 month mark.
Yeah. I think once we get to the Super Bowl, it'll be like we think of the entire NFL season because we started before.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
I mean, that's how long is that? 22 weeks, 23 weeks.
I'm really curious to see how the show is going to evolve and what it's going to turn into after the football season. You know, obviously there'll still be some football there. There'll be lots of content to talk about. We'll have basketball. We'll have March Madness.
Yeah.
You know, we might be able to throw in a couple other things, but the show's really going to evolve and change, and we're probably going to have to get some new segments and stuff. So I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, let's jump right in. We got some special things here at the end for you guys, but I'm going to jump into the roster shakeup. So first and foremost, I'm sure many of you already know, but Mike Tomlin is out as the Steelers head coach. He
stepped down.
Resigned, quote unquote. I was putting up air quotes for those of you that are listening. And I heard something about taking A-Rod with him, which I think may mean Aaron Rodgers retires.
Yeah, so the owner said something today about Aaron Rodgers came here specifically for Mike Tomlin. Yeah. So him stepping down is going to affect that decision for Rodgers. He should just retire, man.
Yeah, he should. I mean, they had like an okay season, and frankly, I don't see it getting better. Like, he's not going to win another Super Bowl, you know?
Well, he didn't put them over the hump in terms of like, and it's been a meme for so long. Steelers are the middling 9-8, 10-7 first round exit team, and we all thought we were thinking, is Aaron Rodgers gonna get him over the hump? And it didn't really make a difference. I think he should retire. He ended his game, or you could say his career, with a bang with a touchdown pass. So, go out when you're high, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
Wow. What a, honestly, terrible game.
Horrible.
It was a terrible game. And then it, like, got worse somehow.
Yeah.
What, 7-6 for
in the fourth quarter,
almost the entire game.
Yeah. And then, it just got out of hand after that.
Yeah, pretty bad. Next on my list, I got George Kittle. The man's out. I saw him go down, and I thought, oh man, that looks like an Achilles. And then I saw him reach for it, and I knew immediately that that's what it was.
Yep.
You know, you could just tell when the calf reverberates the way that it does. You know what it is. And that's a huge hit to the Niners. Big weapon for them.
Yeah.
You know, on the bright side for Niners fans, Jake Tonjes has stepped in key times like this. We haven't had Kittle for a lot of the season, and Tonjes has been a big help in those times. So feeling good there, but obviously, you know, our thoughts go out to George Kittle, and man, it's tough because that's not even like a 1-year injury. It's not like an ACL.
It's a long recovery, and it happened in the playoffs.
Right.
He's going to miss all of next year, man.
Right. Yeah, we're not getting him back, and that's a bummer.
It causes the speculation of, is he going to retire? You know, and I wanted to ask you that. Like, I mean, he's been hurt his whole career. I still think he's got juice in the tank.
Here's the thing, man. For him, I think his mentality is so strong.
Yeah, he loves football.
Dude. He just loves to be out there and play. And I think, he's obviously not going to get a big contract again.
No,
right? That'll never happen again now, especially now. But if he wants to continue playing, I think they'll let him play. Yeah. Right. They'll give him a middling contract, and if he stays healthy, he stays healthy. If not, then he doesn't. Right. But I think he wants to be out there and playing ball, and I think he loves the 49ers. So.
Yeah, of course. He ingratiated himself there. What was, keep me honest, a 5th round pick? I mean, he was a day 2 pick, day 3 pick. But he means more to that team than just catching the ball. I mean, he's vital in the blocking, the energy, all that stuff. He's important to that offense.
Even just the locker room presence, right? That has its own impact. Being able to take care of the rookies and so yeah, it's a tough loss. But another Niner that I have on here, Fred Warner, his 21-day practice window opened, which is pretty exciting. Some people were saying he may be back for the Seahawks games this Saturday. I'm a little skeptical about that. Other people were, other sources that we were seeing, were saying NFC Championship game if they make it that far. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Shout out to Ethan, by the way, because he actually DM'd me today, asking if we were going to talk about that. And he had a question about how, assuming he did come back this weekend, or you guys make it to the NFC Champ game, how much it would affect that linebacking room, because I mean, you know better than anyone, that linebacking core has been beat to shreds ever since Fred went down, and then D. Winters
and Bethune,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
Well, I think the impact is incredible, right? It's going to be massive, not just to have that kind of leadership presence in your locker room and in film, and but on the field too. Fred Warner's a heat-seeking missile, right?
He is.
And I'm not sure what level of play he's going to be able to put out, but it is Fred Warner.
Yeah.
And so you assume that he's going to come back, hopefully, to the best of his ability. And on the other side of that, I think we're doing okay.
Our
linebackers were doing great, right? Well, and I was just about to mention,
in playing, they were stuffing Saquon that whole game.
Totally, and Eric Kendricks is doing a great job. I mean, that's a veteran guy. I am really excited to see how much more successful Kendricks can be when Fred Warner rejoins the lineup.
Yeah.
So, and obviously Bethune is done for the season, right? But I think for next year we're going to be really, really solid, and if Kendricks sticks around, then they could even work in something where they're rotating the linebackers a little bit more,
right?
Getting them a little bit more rest, and hopefully avoiding some of these injuries.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, huge props to that coaching staff. I mean, and we got some stats that we're going to share about all that. But I mean, to go this far with a roster that, frankly, has no business being there.
Right.
Huge props to Shanahan and Robert Saleh.
Well, and I love beating the Eagles.
Yeah.
Man, that feels good. Love beating the Eagles. I know that a lot of other NFL fans were there with me, right?
Yeah.
So, we come out and we beat the NFL champs, right? The reigning NFL champs. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And the defense, I felt like the defense did their job.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and they kind of have, honestly, the last 2 weeks. I think we kind of touched on it a little bit last week, but Seattle only scored 13 points.
Yeah.
So, that's
been a high-flying offense.
It has been. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. Robert Saleh's got that unit on lock. Kevin Patullo did not have his offensive side of the ball on lock, and he got canned for it. Everyone in Philadelphia was kind of chanting the same thing. They wanted him gone, and they got their wish. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that kid on the news for Philadelphia talking like,
hey man, got his birthday wish.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did. And I love the analogy he gave of Kevin Patullo is like a fry cook flipping burgers, because on one side, like half the time he's cooking, and then the other side, like the other half is just raw. And you see it, man, because earlier in the season they were playing pretty well offensively.
Emotional damage.
And they're gonna get, I believe Jalen Hurts is going to get his 11th straight offensive coordinator. Something crazy like that. He's never had an OC back-to-back years.
Yeah.
And, Kellen Moore was the last one that gave him the best chance to succeed, and they won the Super Bowl. So, wonder who they're going to pick up for that.
Maybe Mike McDaniel?
Could be.
Right? You think a guy like that would want to go to an offense that has tons of weapons, right?
Yeah.
You got Saquon over there. I think he could probably scheme up some pretty good things. I
think that's a good fit.
A little bit upset if he went over there, but it makes a good fit. And I think it would be really beneficial for everyone involved.
I think Mike McDaniel, if he's not getting a head coaching job, I know the Lions immediately requested an interview for their OC position for him. He's going to go to a team like that has the weapons and has the cachet. because he's going to be a head coach again.
Well, so. and the more I think about it, I think taking a year to go be an OC somewhere would be really beneficial.
It's a good like refresher. Yeah. So we're going to get into basketball just 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. As the season is coming to a close, we're trying to sprinkle in more NBA. And this man is not a stranger to the injury list. It's Anthony Davis. This guy is one of the best non-playing basketball stars I've ever seen because he's always going to find his way to the injury report. And I like Anthony Davis.
He's always going to find his way into a headline, too.
Exactly, yeah. But he got a hand injury, and the first kind of speculation was that he was going to need surgery and he was going to be out multiple months. And then you told me that second opinion, he might not need surgery. So how's that going to affect the timeline? We don't know.
I think they're still saying a couple months.
Yeah.
But no surgery needed.
Yeah. So significant time still on a team that has been kind of down in the dumps ever since they traded away Luka Doncic for street clothes, glass body Anthony Davis. So
wow, and what a good pickup for Dallas.
I know, for real. And they got Cooper Flagg, but even then, they're not playing a lot of games together. And after he got hurt, we see all the stats coming in of like how many games this core, like these specific players have played together. He's played 1 game with Kyrie.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's brutal.
Yeah, just to try and the reshaping of that roster has been a disaster. So
that's what you get when your GM is terrible.
Yeah, and I mean, he's out the door now, so at least you can count your blessings there, Dallas. But yeah, it's just, and he's getting older too. I think it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse.
As we've seen, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to have LeBron's longevity.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's going to get worse, not better. But we have some very like games and teams that did worse and did better. It's our biggest winners and losers.
You were really working
I was trying.
For that
I was
one,
trying to find a connection.
Yeah,
but
you're trying real hard.
When I said very, I was like, "There's not a good word to put after that." But yeah, biggest winners and losers. We haven't done this in a hot minute.
Yeah, I think we haven't done this in like over 10 weeks.
This used to be a staple too. Mm-hmm. This was always our second segment, but we're bringing it back because the playoffs will humble you, and it will. I mean, when the lights are the brightest, your performance is going to kind of dictate how you're perceived. So, starting off, my biggest winner is the New England Patriots because we've talked about our uncertainty with how they would do in the playoffs. They're a very young team, and obviously Mike Vrabel has all the experience in that arena. But and then there's also like all the flack they would catch about like having 1-2 wins against winning teams. So that was the storm cloud over their head going into this, playing the Chargers, and it didn't faze them. They took the Chargers offensive line to the woodshed. Justin Herbert,
as we talked about,
we talked about, man. Yeah. And Justin Herbert still has yet to win his first playoff game. So he's coined the what if quarterback, or like if this or if that, then he would be
very Kirk Cousin-esque.
Yeah, it is. I see the similarities there in terms of that. But major props to the Pats. And I hope it's not the beginning of a new dynasty, but it's probably going to be.
They got a tough game coming up. They got a tough game coming up against a really good Texans defense.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see what happens there. I haven't made my picks, by the way, so we'll have to chat about that.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't made mine either, so I like to do it on the fly. But yeah, New England, I mean, for all the stuff hanging over their head, I mean, that was a good kind of statement win. They took control of that game and didn't really look back. So who do you got for your winner?
Well, man, I got to bring it home. It's got to be the Niners. There were lots and lots of doubters. There were a lot of people that picked us too, which I appreciate. Especially the way that the Eagles have played. They've kind of been shaky. Towards the end of the season.
100%.
But yeah, I got to go with the Niners, man. 107 million in injuries. You got 74 combined missed games between all the players. I mean, what a game. What a game to come out on top. Purdy was on and off a little bit. He did all right? Like it was a very average game, I think. You know, threw a pick, right? And
he had a couple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I just think overall, I'm happy that they made it to the next week. I think that they came out on top, and I don't think a lot of people were expecting that.
I mean,
shout out to First and Juwan, man. First and Juwan. Dude, he had more completed passes over 15 air yards than Jalen Hurts.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts top 5.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any more of this garbage, man, about Jalen Hurts being top 5. The dude went 0 for 5 over 15 air yards. So
yeah. And a couple of those were some drops, and I did think it was very hilarious.
Right, there was a really bad one by
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, yeah.
And I thought it was. I actually laughed seeing that because it always amazes me when like the players and the coach get into it on the sideline, and there's some like clear, like boiling waters right there, and then he's like demanding the ball, and then he gets the opportunity and just whoop.
Yep.
Right
in
the palm,
key moment, in a super key moment,
yeah.
And I think he's gone. I don't think he's going to be in Philly next season. But for Jalen, I want to talk a little bit more about that. When you look at a guy like Jalen Hurts, I'm not thinking Jalen's going to put the team on his back. You give Jalen Hurts 2 minutes with the ball, I'm not going to be like, damn, it's like Patrick Mahomes. He's going to go down and score, or like Josh Allen, right? You think of those guys and you're like, he's going to put the team on their back right now in crunch time and score this touchdown.
Yeah.
I just don't feel that way about Jalen Hurts. He doesn't excite me in the same way. And, do I think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback? Yeah. I loved him when he came out of Alabama. I loved him when he was playing there. I never thought that Tua should have taken the job at Alabama.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Oklahoma, right, and does what he does. And I mean, I think he's got a lot of really raw talent, or not raw talent now, but I think he's got a lot of talent. And again, I think he's a good quarterback. Do I think he's top 5? No.
I don't think he's top 5 either. But I mean, he has a really good resume in the NFL.
Is he top 10? Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I will never take that away from him. He's like been really successful in the playoffs too. Like he's got good stats. And this is such a double-edged sword argument, and it always comes up with Brock Purdy too. Maybe not as much this season. I think that needs to be put away in terms of like the roster,
right?
Having the Avengers around you. It's not a bad thing. You gotta give credit to the GM for being able to put that around him. And of course, if he's gonna succeed, like why wouldn't you want that from your team? But I'm
gonna go a step further here, Miles. I'm gonna name 5 quarterbacks that I think are better than Jalen Hurts now. Not in any particular order. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Drake May,
Lamar, Stafford.
Stafford, Lamar.
Darnold.
Honestly, I wouldn't put Darnold above him, but maybe Baker.
Yeah.
At times, right?
Yeah.
Baker had a couple shaky games, so I think that would be a close one. But I would put most of those guys above Jalen Hurts right off the bat. So
yeah. Did you put Jordan Love above him?
See, and this is a challenge for me, right? Because and this is not to say that the Packers don't have a good run game. It's not to say that they don't have weapons at all. But you got Devontae Smith, you got AJ Brown, you got Saquon Barkley.
There's no excuse.
And you got one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yeah.
And they had a couple injuries on their O-line too. I'm not
Lane
going to take that
was
away
out,
from them, right? But I just think that if you swap them teams I think the result would probably be pretty close.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, we pretty much covered my loser. It was the Eagles. For coming off winning the Super Bowl and to really hit a plateau in like middle of the season that kind of stuck around till the end. You could see like the degradation. The coaching was all over the place.
Do you ever see that podcast, Tony and Fubo?
I don't believe I have.
The Eagles. They're the Eagles guys. He's like, that's a great analysis, Tony.
Oh, you know what? I think I have seen
those guys are hilarious.
I've seen clips.
I've been seeing tons of excuses from, and it's all satire, right? But they're like, the game was at 4:30 Pacific time, so they were missing dinner and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah,
I was cracking up.
Yeah, that's funny.
Sorry, that was kind of random, but
no. If a Philly media member can have some fun with it and not like crash out, like the entire fan base or just like Philly in general, those people are wild.
Oh, totally.
So,
honestly, the worst fans.
I'm
sorry if you're a Philly fan, but dude, they're like booing George Kittle as he's getting carted off with his ACL. They're at the stadium. They're like throwing trash at Niners fans.
Yeah, there's so much trash on the.
It's just gross, dude. Like the fact that the city gets burned to the ground if they win a playoff game is nuts. You know?
Don't leave your house.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that downtown's gonna be.
I saw them
the purge.
I saw those guys do another skit though, where they're like, the 49ers cheated because all their players were injured, so the Eagles didn't even know who to prep for. How are they supposed to game prep when they don't know who's playing the game?
That might be tech.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, who is your loser?
My biggest loser this week is Steelers fans. I feel for you, Steelers fans. I know many a Steeler fan, and I was kind of ripping on them all week leading up to it. And now I kind of feel bad. So I'm sorry, Steelers fans. But don't worry, I'll get back to ripping you guys at the end of the show. So,
well, I think it became bittersweet after Tomlin stepping down because a lot of people wanted him gone.
Right.
So, if you told them before the playoff game, you guys lose this, but Tomlin's out, like I'm sure they'd be like, okay,
yeah.
So,
well, I think everyone was kind of expecting him to be out if they lost the last game, right?
Yeah,
against the Ravens.
100%.
So,
yeah.
That field goal kind of determined who lost their job.
Yeah, and it's the owner for the Ravens was being very transparent during his press conference, and somebody asked him about like if you guys had won that game and made the playoffs, would John Harbaugh like still have a job? And he said for one week. So like it kind of seemed like he was taking it a week at a time with Harbaugh. It seemed like that was kind of the writing was on the wall.
Well, and I don't blame him though. They had injuries themselves. I mean, your star quarterback was out for a good chunk of the season, and it's just tough. It's a tough league, and it's really tough when the players that you're depending on go down. And I mean that's the winningest coach in Ravens history.
Yeah.
So,
and he brought him back from a hellish start. So.
Yeah, well, Miles, you and I got off to a pretty hellish start with the dual threat bet. But we're bringing it back, baby. Bringing it back.
You're bringing it back.
I'm trying, man. I'm doing my darndest over here. So I won our dual threat bet this last week. If you guys don't remember, we changed our format recently. So we pick the game, right? And then instead of each of us picking a different dual threat bet, we just pick one. And whoever won the coin toss gets the bet for the week. So if the bet hits, then that individual wins the bet.
Mm-hmm.
If not, then the other individual wins.
Guaranteed winner and loser. Yep. So makes it interesting.
Well, and I had Stevenson plus 75.5. This was in the Patriots-Chargers game, and he went crazy. 128 yards, scrimmage yards. So I was pretty happy about that. I'm now 7-14. I'm creeping up on you, Miles. You're 9-12.
Mm-hmm.
We had a shaky start to the season, but I'm glad that we continued this through the playoffs because it's going to be tight. I think
I
down
think
the
so
stretch
too.
here.
Yeah, I think my luck is starting to run out, similar to fantasy football.
I can only hope.
Yeah,
I can only hope.
Yeah, I do not hope. I feel you creeping up, so I'm getting nervy.
Yeah. So this week our game is the Rams at the Bears. They're going.
Yes.
Rams are going to Chicago. I think it's going to be a great game.
I think so too.
I think it would. I think it's better. It's going to be a better game being in Chicago than it would have been in LA.
I think so too. Well, and Chicago would have overran that stadium.
Oh yeah.
So
for sure.
And it's a cold game. I mean, this is January football.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is, the elements are always going to be at play.
Yeah.
So,
well, and you were saying Matthew Stafford, the MVP candidate, does not play well in the cold. So we're going to see what happens. I would love to. Honestly, I'd love to go to Chicago, go play in Chicago.
Would you really?
I would much rather go to Chicago, I think, than LA. There's just something about the fact that we've already beat the Bears.
Oh, you're saying? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I thought
if things go the way that I hope they do this upcoming Saturday.
I thought you were saying if you were an NFL player, you would want to go play in Chicago.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like,
no, I want to go to LA.
Surprising.
Yeah, I'm a warm weather guy.
Mm-hmm.
We may live in Reno, Nevada, but I don't mess around with this cold, man.
No, yeah, I miss LA, man. Like when I came back from my trip and it was cold and gloomy and dark, and I was like, God.
All right. Well, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Heads or tails, Miles?
Let's do tails.
Okay. It is tails.
Okay.
All right. The man, the myth, the legend, Miles Sweeney, to pick the bet.
Okay. I got Monangai going for 49.5 scrimmage yards.
Ooh.
So,
I don't know if I like that or not.
I mean, he hasn't been a stat sheet warrior the last couple of weeks, but I think it could happen. I mean, if they're going to be having to run the ball, you know.
But the thing is, the Rams' run defense,
that's a stout defensive line.
Is very good. Their front seven is very good.
Yeah.
So
maybe a lot of like 2-back sets with Swift and Monangai, and just get him the rock, please. I don't want Jared on my tail anymore. So yeah, hopefully they win. But in spite of the Jaguars losing, they got a lot of love from a reporter, and they're catching flack for that. So this is our weekly wild card. So this is something I kind of wanted to speak to as a fan of a perennial losing organization. And Jacksonville has had some very low lows in recent history. So for them to turn it around, Liam Cohen comes in, takes them to the playoffs, gets the 3rd seed in one season, and had success, gave that city hope. But ultimately it came to a close against the Bills. And during that press conference, Lynn Jones, a reporter for the Jaguars, has been catching some flack for her uplifting message to Liam Cohen. I'm sure, Adam Schefter clipped this and tweeted it, and it caught on like a wildfire of a lot of mixed opinions. And I'm going to read the quote of what she said. I'm not sure if you've seen this or not, but
I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So, quote, I'm going to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man. You hold your head up. You guys have had a most magnificent season. You did a great job out there today. You just hold your head up, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Duval, you keep it going. We got another season. And Cohen was very receptive to it, smiling, saying, thank you, ma'am.
Of course.
Yeah. And I mean, when I first heard that, I was just kind of like, oh, that's nice. Like that's cool. I mean, it's not my team, so it's just kind of like whatever. But then you see the flack that she's catching for this.
Well, it's biased reporting.
I would agree. And
the biggest issue here is that you can't trust what she says now.
Right.
Right.
And
so you lose trust with the fan base.
Yeah, and when she was on like talk shows and like people were talking to her about it, and she was like, they just lost a playoff game. I'm not gonna like ram it over their head like the season's over. This is just football. And I think that last line, yeah, it's just a game, but like fans pour their blood, sweat, tears, money, dedication into this, and they have not had a lot of success over in Jacksonville until this year.
Well, we're going to show you how worked up a fan can get here at the end of the show.
Yeah, and we will, and we're going to try to rage bait him a little bit. But yeah, and then it just brought it back to like, if all of this happened for the Cardinals, and I heard a guy like Darren Urban, who's just the total like shill for the organization, who will give the softball questions, and it's like Phoenix media is a total joke. And if I heard that, I would be pissed. I'd be like, you are enabling losing behavior. And I think even though it's not my team over in Jacksonville, I still see that element of this quote. And I think I'm not going to hate on the reporter for that. I just think that's not something you should do during the press conference. If you got something nice to say like that, that's totally fine. Just do it outside of that time where you're supposed to be asking the hard questions of what went wrong. You know, you talked about clock management, letting the Bills score, you know, all that stuff. You got to get to the nitty gritty of playoff football because you're one and done. You got to be more transparent, in my opinion. So I think it just enables losing behavior. I think it's, I don't want to say soft, but it is very cushy.
Right.
And I think...
Yeah, these guys need to be held accountable, right? They're getting paid millions of dollars.
100%.
They need to be held accountable. They don't need to be coddled.
Yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword of, like, it's very admirable that she is, like, being nice in that way and saying that. And I'm sure a lot of Jacksonville fans are still happy with the season they had.
Yeah, you're just steering the wrong business, though.
You need to have higher expectations and higher standards for your team.
Right.
Because then you're just, like I said, you're beating a dead horse. You're enabling a losing culture or a losing mentality. So. Yeah,
absolutely. And nobody cares about your feelings. I'm sorry.
No,
it's just the way that it is. It's a cutthroat league. Reporting is cutthroat. So sorry. You know, and we have seen some other sports reporting that has, you know, been known to be a little biased, and those people get ripped to shreds, man.
Yeah.
Carissa Thompson is one that I'm thinking of. There were reports that, and I think she said this, but that she, like, at times had to fabricate stories on the sideline when there was pressure to get content for sideline reporting and stuff like that. And she's taken a lot of flack for that. And then again, you know, she came out afterwards and she was like, "Oh, I never actually did that." It's like, well, now you said it, so now you can't be trusted.
Right.
So yeah, just some shady reporting there.
A lot of bad questions too, and this has existed for a long time. Like even just last week too, with Aaron Rodgers losing that game, and the reporters asking him like, "How do you feel about Mike Tomlin?" And he's like, "Well, I already effing answered that question." He was asked that just a couple weeks before, and he just lost the playoff game. He's pissed, and I understand that you're trying to get at the, like get to the point of like Tomlin and everything surrounding him being fired and stuff. So, but they're not in the playoffs anymore. And so we got our game predictions for those who still remain. Four games. It's coming to an end. Makes me sad, but
yeah, it makes me pretty sad too. Only 8 teams remain, man.
Yeah, but you know, we can hold our head high. We went 5-1 last week. The only game we lost was Jacksonville, and they had a chance to win that game. I wish that drive started off a little more interesting than just the immediate interception.
Yeah, it was tough. And you know, to be honest, T. Law kind of lost that game for them a little bit. You know, I mean, and
he left a lot out there.
He did. He left a lot out there, and the pick was badly timed. He
was being draped on.
He was right. There was pressure around him. It was a tip ball, but that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks. And that first interception, right? Who's to say they don't take that down and score a touchdown if he doesn't throw it? So.
Or a field goal. I mean, because then at that point it'd be a tie game. Right. So yeah, but we went 5-1. Jacksonville, you stabbed us in the heart right there, robbed us of both of our first perfect game prediction. So. Yep. But we're gonna go 1-1. We're gonna start with the Bills and Broncos. Oh man, I don't know.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one. I don't understand the Broncos. I think they're fraudulent, but that defense it's not something to sneeze at. If they're gonna take away James Cook and force Josh Allen to play Superman, which he can do. How is that going to spell success for either team, But something that I'm thinking about is the 1 week bye might actually hurt Denver more than help them.
Well,
I feel like they could be rusty.
Well, and that's kind of what I was thinking. I think that their saving grace is going to be Sean Payton.
Yes.
Who's been here before, but I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking the Bills, man. I think that the Broncos are frauds. I'm not going to play the game, man. I think the Broncos are frauds. It's going to be Buffalo.
We were pretty chalk last week. I'm going to go Denver.
Okay.
I'm going to shake it up.
All right, man. I'm excited to see what happens.
They are at home. Their defense is stout.
Hey, if they do it, good for them, man. Yeah. I like Bo Nix. So.
Yeah, I like Bo Nix too. Yep. So I wouldn't be too mad at it. Next up, NFC West, 49ers at Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Man, do you have an analysis on this? I'm really just
yeah, man. Let's chat about it a little bit. So I think that the Niners are going to be a little bit pissed. They're coming back for a revenge game. Same thing like you were saying. Seattle had the week off. Maybe that hurts them. Mm-hmm. We'll have to see. The Niners obviously lost Kittle, which is really, really hard. But there is a lot of promise with Fred Warner coming back, right, of what the rest of the season could be if they stay in it. I think that the Niners play really well on the road. Kyle Shanahan he's obviously shown us, right, that it doesn't matter how many injuries you have, we can win these games.
Yeah.
And we've already beaten Seattle once this season. Yeah. So, coming off a loss where Seattle only scored 13 points, I think that getting the offense right is going to be a lot easier this time around. So we've seen a lot of the looks that they threw at us. I'm excited to see what Mike McDaniel does. Maybe he has something new in his pocket, but on the side of the 49ers, I think I'm taking the Niners. And, maybe it is a little bit biased, but that's what I have to do.
I think my biggest thing is Sam Darnold. Last time we saw him in the playoffs, he played atrocious. Now, that was against a good Rams defense who really was on the rise at that time, at this point last year. The 49ers, their defense is being well coached, but they just don't think they have the personnel to wreck the game or to make Darnold as uncomfortable as he was to make those mistakes. Now, they could do it.
It's interesting that you say that, though, because we were getting pressure on Jalen Hurts, right? I think that they've stepped it up on putting pressure on the quarterback. So,
yeah, and you don't need to sack him to rattle him.
Right.
If you close that pocket, Darnold is prone to mistakes. He's played a lot better. That element is still in him. I'm going to take, you know what? I'm going to go with you. I'm going to say the 49ers.
It's interesting. And the one thing that makes me nervous is what secondary is going to show up for the Niners.
Right.
So yeah. I'll be interested to see what happens there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Texan, or go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was going to do the same thing you're about to do.
Okay, yeah, Texans at Patriots. That was an ugly game for CJ Stroud. It was. It also wasn't a great game for the Patriots. It wasn't overly impressive. that was a low-scoring, close game for a while too. But they maintained more prolonged control towards the latter half of the game. The Texans just completely ran away with it with their defense and 2 defensive touchdowns. And we've talked about this pretty frequently about if their offense can't figure it out, how sustainable is it for them to continue to win with just their defense? And that's a great defensive unit. D'Amico's got it on lock, but man, this is really tough because part of me does want to say Houston, and I think I am going to say Houston.
I think this is the closest game.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know. The Niners.
These are all
Niners.
close
Seattle
games.
is going to be really close.
These are all tough to pick.
Oh man.
I think I'm going to go Houston.
Really?
Because
okay. Well, then you know what? In light of what you did in the Buffalo game, just because frankly I don't know, I'm going to go with New England.
Okay.
Because I like CJ Stroud, but the quarterback play has just not been very good. And I think that the Patriots defense is as solid
as Pittsburgh's.
Yeah,
that's a tough one, man. And to finish off the tough matchups, we got the Rams at the Bears. And similar to like sustainability, the Bears are living in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They're living in the fourth quarter.
That's dangerous.
And it is.
It is dangerous. And we've talked about this a couple times.
We have. And it's admirable that they can find a way to win in spite of all the odds. But I think the Rams, first of all, they're better coached than the Packers. Matt LaFleur is a good coach. He's no Sean McVay.
The defense is better.
The defense is better.
Mm-hmm. And they're built for moments like this.
Yes. But then we talk about...
And they've been here before.
And they have. But then we talk about the Colt. How's that offense going to operate? We don't really know. I think Sean McVay is such a good coach that if they go out there and score 28 points in spite of it being, bone-chilling temperatures, wind, whatever it's going to be, I would not be surprised. And Stafford plays well. But Chicago's kind of the hotter team right now, I would say, but I would say
they're kind of a dark horse.
They are a dark horse right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go...
I know who I'm picking.
It feels sinful to not take the Rams.
I'm taking the Rams.
I think I'm with you there.
I don't want to. I'll be rooting against them.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Rams.
I'm 100% being a Chicago fan this week. But yeah, I can't do it. It feels gross. It feels wrong. Not saying the Rams.
Can't stand them, man. Can't stand them. But but they're the better team. And I think they're going to go into Chicago. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout or anything like that. I think it'll be a good game. Maybe Chicago will mount some kind of fourth quarter comeback. But again, I think it's going to be the Rams.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Jared, how about you transition us into this?
Yeah, well,
segment?
Miles, I was gonna say, let's see if you agree if these are athletes or actors. All right. Athlete or actor. I love this segment.
I do too.
I think it's super fun. And I don't know if anyone else gets a kick out of it, but I love trying to dupe you.
Yeah, and you've duped me quite a few times.
And I think I got you this week. I think I got you good. We're each picking 3. We're gonna go 1-1?
Yeah, and I did something interesting this week. So
okay,
let's do.
I started to kind of theme my fun segments a little bit.
Okay, nice.
If you've noticed.
Yeah. Well, there was the Arizona theme a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Then we had the Harbaughs.
The Harbaughs. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got a theme here too. I would say. Do you want to do some brownie points that if we get it right, we guess like the sport they play or like what they're in or something?
I think we should get extra dual threat bet wins.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to
tie
do
it
that.
up.
No, I don't want to do that because I'm terrible at this segment.
I am too.
I'm really, really bad at it.
Yeah. Okay, start us off.
All right, man. Miles, is this individual an athlete or an actor? Lee C. Young.
Lee C. Young.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say actor.
Interesting. Well, it's actually a trick question, Miles, because this individual is both a boxer and starred in a boxing drama.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a half a point?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what was he? He had to have been a boxer first.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think he's from Korea. I think he actually was in the boxing drama, and then he was like, "Man, this is kind of cool," and then he like went and started boxing.
Okay. Very cool. I'll take my half pity point. All right, Jared. Is Charlie Cox an actor or an athlete?
This screams actor to me, but I think it's an athlete.
Should have gone with your gut.
Oh, really?
Screaming at you. Yeah, he's an actor.
Oh man.
He's
we didn't have John here to shame us.
John would have like perked up
when
he heard that because he's a Marvel character. He plays Daredevil.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never seen Daredevil.
That's a good. You should watch the show.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Number 2.
Well, hall of shame for me. All right, Miles. Who is Becca Leash?
Becca Leash.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say athlete. She sounds like an Olympic athlete.
Interesting. Oh,
wrong.
Yeah, she's an actress. I don't know what she starred in. I forgot to get her recently. No, I actually don't think that there was anything that I like recognized, so I didn't put anything down for it.
Yeah.
I was trying to find something way out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not A-list.
Yeah. What you got?
All right. Charlie Jones.
Charlie Jones. Actor.
Athlete.
Oh my God.
He played college football, I believe.
We're just pulling random college football.
I know, yeah. It's
next week, dude, I got a D. I'm gonna pull a D3 guy out of nowhere.
Yeah, or
a field hockey player, or something.
Or like a chess player or something.
Hey man, have you seen chess boxing? Have we talked about that on the show?
Chess boxing?
Oh, okay, all right. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's finish this segment. But I got to talk about chess boxing. Don't let me forget.
It sounds interesting. Yeah. Cap us off. Number 3.
All right, number 3. Kento Yamazaki.
That is an athletic name. That's an athlete.
Athlete?
Yeah.
Kento Yamazaki is an actor who stars in the show Alice in Borderland on Netflix. If you haven't seen that show, you should watch it. It's very
Alice
good.
in Borderland.
Yeah, it's very Squid Games-esque. But I don't want to give away too much. But it's a really good show. It'll grab you pretty quick.
Okay. So. You watch Daredevil. I'll watch Alice in Borderland.
All right, man. It's a deal.
Yeah, and then we'll do our review.
And then we'll do some chess boxing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Final name, Charlie Coyle. Have you caught on to the theme?
Is this an athlete?
Mm-hmm.
All
right.
Want
to take a guess on what sport he plays?
Charlie Coyle. Curling. Coiling.
You would
coiling?
Because curling's on the ice, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were close. I mean, he plays hockey, but
it's not quite the same. But I appreciate you giving it.
They're
to
on
me,
the ice.
Yeah.
So so I believe you got. I got half a point.
I think I got 1.
Yeah, you got the last one.
Yeah. And that, honestly, it was a random guess. I had no idea who that person was.
You know, you think some of these have just a vibe to it, and you're like, yeah, that fits the mold, and it just doesn't. So,
all right, well, let's talk about chess boxing here for a second. All right?
Yeah.
I got to tell you about this, dude. It's crazy. So I've been hearing about it, and then inadvertently, Google's always listening, right? And so I was scrolling, and I saw it on my feed, and I was like, this is nuts. So basically, what happens is they they start out like two guys. They start out, they're just beating the shit out of each other, right? Really, really throwing it down, and for like a minute, and then the match stops, and a chessboard lowers down from the ceiling, and they do a minute of playing chess, right? Once that minute's up, it goes back up, and they go back to just beating the shit out of each other, and then it stops, and then the chessboard comes back down. So these guys' faces are just bloodied. They're like trying to move these pieces quickly.
Who can play better concussed?
Dude, it was pretty gnarly, and that's also pretty awesome. So
where do you watch? Is this like
it just popped up on my feed. I have no idea. It's got to be some like third party streaming or maybe YouTube.
I mean, did it seem like an organized event? Like,
oh yeah,
okay,
oh absolutely, yeah. They had a whole octagon. Like it was very legit.
Okay,
and another thing. This is another kind of random sport that I'm kind of getting into, and this is because of the John father. But we're at work. We're doing fantasy sumo,
and you talked to me about this too. Yeah,
fantasy sumo. That's an interesting one. I still need to draft my team. I think I have until the 19th, so I need to.
How big is the roster?
I don't think it's very big. Maybe like six guys or something like that, and they're in different weight classes or something. There's different different levels.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you pick your roster, and that's for like the tournament for the month, and then the next month you redraft a new roster.
Okay.
Now, it's very interesting. It's pretty unique. I'm kind of excited. We just started, so I haven't really gotten too deep into it, but it's kind of unique.
Well,
keep the fantasy going. I still got to set up fantasy basketball for us. I'll work on that.
Yeah. Well, I love things that are unique and interesting, and I think these point of views from these very angry fans are going to be unique and interesting. It's the Fourth and Furious. Normally the fourth quarter question of the week, but
we're not really asking questions this week.
No, we're just giving the pedestal, the platform to those who want their voices to be heard. And we got Henry, who's never been on the show.
We're kind of giving him the business. Actually,
we're gonna try to ruffle some feathers here.
I was actually making notes every time I was going to write. I was actually making notes of like different things that I could say to Henry.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Him off.
Yeah. But yeah, we got Henry, who is a very vocal individual in the fantasy group chat. He talks a lot of shit, especially with like Ryan. And a lot of us just try to bait him to just try to.
Well, I got two pretty good first questions for him.
Okay, good.
So I'm excited. So let's give him a call, man.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
The 2-point perspective.
Thanks. Please stay on the line.
Can do.
Yo,
what up, Henry? You're on the 2-point perspective with Young Broadcaster and Miles on the mic. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you? How's everybody doing?
Good, bro. Doing better than your Packers. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Let's just calm down about the Packers, man.
Well, we want you to not calm down and let them have it.
Yeah, we got some questions. I got some questions for you though. So what would you say? What do you say to people that there's been a lot swirling around about Matt LaFleur. What would you say to people that say that Matt LaFleur is the worst coach in the NFC North?
Matt LaFleur is a top 3 coach in the NFL. Everybody can agree with this. It's not his fault. Offensive coordinator is dog shit. Everybody knows that. I don't know how we choke a 20-point lead in about 20 minutes, but
well, if you go back and watch it, you'll figure it out. You'll be able to see.
Yeah,
how
I
you
know.
did it.
I think
everybody knows.
Coaching Caleb Williams is dog shit as a quarterback. But yeah, Matt LaFleur's a great coach. I don't think if we fire him, I think I might just move on. But no, Matt LaFleur's a great coach. So anybody that thinks different, Matt LaFleur is a great head coach, and our offensive coordinator is terrible. But if we made the 3 field goals, we probably would have won the game. We had 7 points on missed field goals. So.
And what would you say to people that say that Jordan Love is not a top 10 quarterback?
I mean, I can't think of 10 quarterbacks that are better than Jordan Love.
You can't think of 10? Not 10?
That are better than Jordan Love?
How about 7?
I could probably do like 7. I think I could do 7. I think I can go.
I think I could do 15.
No, I think I'll go Stafford, Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, what's his name? Who am I thinking about?
Brock Purdy.
Lawrence. Yeah, I mean at the given moment, Brock Purdy's probably better than Jordan Love.
Caleb Williams.
That's all. I could do 6.
JJ McCarthy, 9. Don't forget about 9.
Let's not. Let's just not. We got to stop disrespecting Jordan Love, man. His
Jared Goff for sure.
Himself. Like we have to be nice here. It's Jordan Love, man.
Jared Goff for sure.
Jared Goff, hell no.
Shador Sanders.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, anyway, it's the offensive coordinator.
Bryce Young.
I will fully blame the offensive coordinator. The
Anthony Richardson.
Played a great game, and they started giving up. So.
Well, how are you going to differentiate the OC and LaFleur, who's calling the plays? And this is twice that you guys have blown like crazy games to Chicago.
Listen, I don't know what goes on inside that building, but I don't understand how we blow a 20-point lead. I really couldn't tell you. I mean, we still own the Bears. This is a fact.
Well, if LaFleur hired the OC, what does that say about his decision making?
What's going on, bro? The OC, there's a problem, and Josh Jacobs is fucking terrible at football. So there's a lot of issues here. I don't know, but LaFleur's not the problem in my eyes.
All right, so if LaFleur got fired and Jeff Hafley got promoted, would you be happy?
No, absolutely not. I think LaFleur has never. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers says LaFleur's a good coach, I'm gonna take LaFleur's a good coach. So
yeah, but Aaron Rodgers is a bad quarterback. How can you take his word for it?
He wasn't then. You gotta put. I just think LaFleur deserves. I think we need some help. I think we need another receiver. I think we need a better running back.
Mm-hmm. That I agree with. I don't know about. I think Josh Jacobs is a pretty good running back.
I mean, he's pretty terrible during the regular season.
I think he's being schemed up wrong.
No, I completely agree. But I think the backup running back is currently better than him. I'm not even gonna lie. I think Malik Wilson is a better running back at the very moment.
I don't know if I can agree with that.
I mean, Malik, he was getting at least 4 a carry in the last game against the Bears. Not the playoff game, but the last regular season game. He was getting like 4 or 5 a carry. So,
okay.
I don't know, man.
Okay. Well, we're gonna call Ryan here in a minute. You know Ryan, and we're gonna rip him pretty good, I think, about the Steelers. Do you have any thoughts on the Steelers?
Yeah, you guys were going at it in the group chat. So if you have anything you want us to relay,
the Steelers, bro. This to me, bro. The Texans defense is a generational defense, and I told Ryan I don't think Miles was there. I told Ryan they were not going to get in the end zone, and I don't think the Patriots scored more than twice. I actually think the Patriots scored more than once. So
you think Houston's winning that game?
I think Houston's winning that game by like 15.
Even with C.J. Stroud's terrible quarterback play?
I don't even think their defense is so elite and their edge rushing is so elite. And, I mean, Jalen Petre and Stingley and the safeties, bro, they have dogs. Will Anderson's a fucking beast.
Alshire.
Will Anderson's a beast. They're going to get to Drake May and they're going to make it difficult. And I think they come out of Foxborough with a dub.
Okay.
Not the worst take.
Yeah,
I think Houston's
actually
not.
Win. I think it's going to be a close game. Honestly, I picked the Pats just so that I was different than Miles, but honestly, I think that game's going to be a coin flip. Drake May, the quarterback play is going to be much better from that side. I think that the Patriots defense can stack up against like an okay offense from Houston. So we'll see.
I mean, without Nico Collins, it's going to be difficult. I don't think he's going to play, but I don't know if he is questionable still or what. I haven't looked at it, but that defense is unbelievable. I can't think of I think their defense is like years better than the Eagles was last year. And I mean, I think Drake May is going to have to fight and die to win this game. So I think it's going to be a very defensive game. My personal opinion.
Henry, I got one more thing for you. You're an Oregon fan. How do you feel about Dylan Raiola going into that quarterback room and Dante Moore coming back?
Listen, I'm going to say this one fucking time. Oregon, Dylan, if you ever see this, I'm going to tag you. I was informed they're going to tag you. Please get the fuck out of Eugene. You are a horrible fucking quarterback. You think you're Patrick Mahomes. You're terrible. Dante Moore's coming back, and we're going to win this natty this year. This is the year. Dylan, please just get on, bro. I don't like you. Nobody likes you. By the way, Miles and Jared, there has never been a quarterback in the Duck history that has been hated and not wanted to come into Eugene, and Dylan is the first one to do this. This is the first quarterback that has ever been not wanted in Eugene. So I'm hoping that when he's around a bunch of and a bunch of because he's not around that in Nebraska, he'll be a great quarterback, and he will stop trying to be like fucking Mahomes because he's a loser. But yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. You're very passionate.
Yeah, about that one for sure. I was talking to Key about that one. I cannot fucking stand Dylan Raiola. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna move on to your Steeler counterpart.
Well, I got one more question for you,
okay,
Henry, before you go.
All right.
What are your thoughts on the national championship, man? Who do you think is going to take it?
See, I want Miami to win this game. I think Fernando Mendoza is very overrated. And the people that are comparing him to Joe Burrow season are just out of their fucking minds. Joe Burrow was the best quarterback in college football history. I mean, he had 60 touchdowns and over 6,000 yards passing, and Fernando Mendoza is playing in the Big Ten, which is, the good teams in the Big Ten. I'm hoping that the Miami the D-line, and the safeties and the corners get on him and get a few turnovers because they play very violent football. But I think Indiana comes out of this with like a 20-point dub. Not gonna lie. So I think this might not be a close game, but that's just me.
I'm feeling the same way. I think Indiana's gonna probably dominate. So
yeah, I think they have a bunch of misfits, as Fernando Mendoza would say, and they play really well together. So yeah, but I appreciate you guys for having me on, and go tell Ryan that the Steelers got their mouths fucked because I told them they would. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you guys.
Watch your profanity.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on, Henry.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you too.
Bro.
Thanks for bringing the passion.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Oh no!
So we weren't expecting some of those things, but
I just want to put this out there right now. The 2-point perspective does not always condone the things that are said on the Fourth and Furious podcast segment.
Yes, yeah. Because if this was like actual sports radio air, they would have kicked his ass off immediately. After.
I wish we had a beat button.
I know. Yeah, John, maybe you gotta.
Yeah, we may
do us
have
a favor
to,
here.
We may have to connect with John, the John Father, after the show.
But that was the most animated caller we've ever had. So.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? Whatever. We'll get the bleeps in there when we need them. All right, let's give Ryan a call.
Yes, someone who probably won't be as
We may get an F-bomb, but we can handle that.
Yo.
What up, Ryan? You're on the 2-point perspective. How you doing, man?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. How you guys doing? How's you guys tonight then?
Good, man.
We're doing pretty good after the Steelers' first round exit. I mean, it's a tradition at this point. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what would have happened if they had gotten past.
Well, yeah, that's also tradition. The Cardinals never make the playoffs, so Cardinals and Steelers are keeping it alive.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I like to see. I like to see the tradition staying alive. You got to keep the past present.
Well, okay. Well, we want to get some of your thoughts on this, and I was really hoping Mike Tomlin would not have been, or he stepped down. I was hoping he would have stayed so that you would have taken your talents to San Francisco, like you so boldly said before he stepped down. But yeah, just give us some of your thoughts on just that organization.
Oh, man, it happened, I was happy, but then as time sets in, it's kind of sad because this guy has literally been the coach of my favorite team my entire life, basically the whole time I've been a fan. So it's like I'm not used to change, but I felt like he was definitely it was the time coming with what we've seen with this offense. I was kind of hoping this would happen years ago, but
I mean, how many times can you be 1 or 2 games above 500 before they call
right.
it?
How many times can you get blown out in the first round of the playoffs before we actually?
It could be much worse, Ryan. You guys could promote Arthur Smith to be your head coach.
Oh well, I wish he would, but he's too busy exploring options in Arizona.
Yeah, kill me,
Miles,
Ryan. You can kill me the next time you see me if that happens.
You're gonna get blessed with an amazing offensive coordinator, man.
Hey, as we know, Miles, the Cardinals always make good decisions.
Of course they do. Yeah,
yeah.
We all saw how he did in Atlanta. I mean, come on.
You should have seen him on Tennessee, man. He's goated in Tennessee. He's going to bring that level of offense to the Cardinals. We're going to see Marvin Harrison turn into the pick he was.
Yeah, you better hope so. That's your Maserati over in Ohio State.
Hey, so Ryan, yeah. I got a question for you, man. So what are your thoughts on the potential for A-Rod to leave now that Mike Tomlin is out?
Please.
You want him gone?
Yeah, I mean he's old, man.
I remember you saying he was better than Brock Purdy.
Are you switching up on us?
No. I'm just saying, sometimes you have to. Sometimes the things you see, you have to be confident in your team. Don't bring out the receipts. I was just early confidence in the team, because you know what, the team.
Don't bring out the receipts.
Don't bring out the receipts. The team was there, man. We had the team this year, and I think part of this also, kind of falls on Mike Tomlin. Even though he's a good coach, he couldn't get himself some coordinators. So if you can't do something with that team he had with him, that can't get the right personnel in there, I think that's kind of fitting for what it is. I think Rodgers could have been good. This team was a potential division conference round team if we had a decent offensive coordinator, maybe. Because that game wasn't a bad game on Monday. It was a close game for half the game. The only reason it fell apart is just the offense was terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, DK was doing his AJ Brown impression.
No, you can't hate on DK, man. When you see Arthur Smith saw him competing out there and cook on the first drive and decided to never look at him the rest of the game and instead look at 5'9" Calvin Austin.
Ryan, I got a question for you. I know you're kind of bagging on the offense right now, but the Steelers' defense is the highest paid defense in the league, and they're ranked 20th. How do you justify that?
Who ranked them? PFF. If you that defense was making plays.
That's the EPA, man. Their total defensive yards. They're ranked 26th. So opponent passing yards per game 29th. Points against 17th.
The defense.
How do you justify this?
I mean, the defense was hurt for half the year. TJ Watt got his dumb lung hurt by our stupid doctors. 49ers energy right there. We're channeling our inner 49ers trainers and hurting our own players. And we lost Deshaun Elliott. He was really good. Had to move, which was a blessing. Move Jalen out to safety. You're right. The defense wasn't great, but the defense was the only reason we were good on Monday. If we had a competent offense, we win that game 30-6.
How much
until they fell apart in the fourth quarter?
Well, I mean, how much of that was the defense and not just Houston's offense being inept?
That was all well, no, the defense made plays. We were getting to the quarterback. We were intercepting the ball. You don't just drop the ball for no reason, man.
Jack Sawyer came in for that strip sack, man.
Dude, Ohio,
I love some Captain Jack.
Legend. He's a legend.
I mean, how do you justify giving up all those points though at the end of the game? I mean, if you're not
what was it, pick six? I mean, the defense is there the whole time. I mean, if I'm a defensive, this is like half of our blowouts have been. We get these turnovers, and then the offense just looks like we look like the Titans. We look terrible. I mean, it's just like I honestly would rather have Ohio State's offense in college out there than the Steelers' offense. I mean, because the only reason it was 30-6.
Didn't Ohio State get blown out recently?
Well, we didn't get blown out. We lost. But the score was what, 10-6 at some point, and we're causing these turnovers. How do you get 6 points off of 4 turnovers? That terrible offense. Arthur Smith got to go. I'm hoping. I've got my eyes set on this Mike McDaniel, but you guys are saying this is not a top job. This is, I think, personally, this is one of the most appealing jobs because it's it's a historic organization. Even though we might not have a quarterback and or maybe getting a little older, but it's a historic organization. My comparison, I thought this would be like Texas head coaching job, University of Texas getting available. Like you might not have been there, but
I'm going to tell you right now, off the top of my head, I can name 3 organizations that I think are more attractive than the Steelers.
Arizona, name the other 2.
No, because Arizona can't hire right.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What makes this organization so appealing is the fact that we've had 3 head coaches in 60 years.
Yeah,
so obviously you're committed to the team. Because why would you want to go? Because what are you going to go coach the Jets where you get fired after 2 years?
That's fair.
They made Robert Saleh look terrible.
That's fair, but think about what about the Ravens, man? They got Lamar Jackson over there. Their defense is decent. They need some pieces, right? Their O-line needs some pieces as well. But you got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Appealing. That's got to be the number one, right? And then you look at the Giants. The Giants are young. They have a young defense who has a lot of talent. Then you got Jackson Dart and Cam Scatteraboo.
Atlanta.
Atlanta as well, right? Bijan Robinson. You got 2 quarterback options over there.
Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins are just as bad as Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying that you have something stable there, right? And at this point, we don't even know who's going to be playing quarterback for the Steelers next season.
Ryan, honestly, the Steelers job screams Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores is going to the Ravens or the Steelers.
I don't like that. I don't like the Brian Flores hire because there's no way we go after watching our offense be terrible for the last 10 years and go hire another defensive mind. We got to get the Steelers. The problem the Steelers have had the last 10 years has always been offense. We've had like top 5 defenses, multiple times the last 10 years, and we go nowhere with it because our offense is trash.
Okay, so you're thinking Mike McDaniel, Clint Kubiak. Yeah. I mean,
not Clint Kubiak is not. I don't want a Clint Kubiak. I'm thinking
I think Chip Kelly would be a really good fit in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Chip Kelly.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury.
Oh no! Don't get me started on those. No, give me dark horse Marcus Freeman.
You know what? That's an interesting one. I mean, if
you're Marcus Freeman, why do you not take the Pittsburgh job? I think for a college coach,
I could see
Pittsburgh
that actually
is a very desirable job.
I actually could see that.
Because the problem with college, if you look at the history of the track record of college coaches going in the NFL, never works. Urban Meyer was a good coach in college. Guy won multiple national championships.
Right.
Look at Nick Saban, terrible in the NFL. But because they all go to these teams that are like not set. I mean, Urban Meyer went to the Jags, he had Trevor Lawrence.
Well, what do you say? What do you say about Jim Harbaugh though? When he left Stanford.
Oh, well, he was really good in San Francisco. Well, that's different, but it happens. But the track record is not always there. Look at Chip Kelly, really good at Ohio State, terrible as a coordinator in the NFL. But it's a lot. People always talk about that. The jump from college to NFL is most people. It never works out, which I mean it does for a lot of time, but it also doesn't work out compared to hiring. That's why I love to see these guys hire coordinators in the NFL. They don't go dip down to the college. But if you're a guy like Marcus Freeman, you're at an organization in Indiana Notre Dame, big team, big. But now you have a chance to go be head coach of one of the most prestigious organizations in NFL history. And I feel like I think he might be a better Mike. He's a Mike Tomlin guy. I feel like.
Well,
he screams Steelers football. Marcus Freeman. I don't know what it is.
College football is. They're going to be holding a grudge for a couple of years against him. So now might be the time to get out.
Yeah, right? Freeman wouldn't have to worry about getting snubbed out of the playoffs because of a choice bracket.
Yeah, and he was not quiet about it.
No.
But he's going to go to a team with no quarterback, so that's the main problem. And aging TJ Watt, aging defense.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do want to say is why does TJ Watt always disappear in the playoffs? I mean, I know you talked about like being injured, but even before that, he's a regular season warrior, but he disappears when the lights are brightest.
I mean, you can't really give him too much flat because in these games where he disappeared, I mean, we played the Chiefs a couple years ago, got a strip sack touchdown. But then you look at it now, I mean, you can't expect him to do much when we're down 30-6 because if you look at a guy, he's getting all the attention out there. The other guys across from him should be doing something. Like, I understand you got it. You paying him this much money. He's got to make a play, but also you're paying him this money too because nobody will put him single coverage, put him 1-on-1. So he's always got 2 on him. Tell these guys, Alex Highsmith, he's getting paid big money. Nick Herbig, Cam Hayward, start making some plays, start doing something.
Okay, Jack Sawyer did it.
I mean, that wasn't even really a crazy big play. I mean, that was just a terrible flea flicker that we just a blown coverage. You got a guy wide open. Our secondary was terrible.
Well, hey Ryan, thank you so much for all of your insight. We appreciate it. Thanks for giving us the passion that we were looking for, and hopefully we can have you on again.
Hey, go Niners!
Yeah, go Niners, baby.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye, Ryan. Fourth and Furious,
and furious it was. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to work on some of that audio for sure.
Yes. Yeah, John, you got some work on your hands, but it's for the greater good. So,
all right, guys. Well, hey, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, leave comments under the social media posts. Miles is always putting stuff out, and we will see you next week.